stato il primo che viene morsicato dal timore.
Magical.
Sensitizing.
Adventure.
I would choose discover.
Bewitching.
Empathy.
Fresh start, it's 2 words. I hope it's enough.
Stimulating.
Kindness. Bienveillance. Good intentioned.
Growing.
I decided to split my internship into 2 parts. The first one was the practical part, let's say. So I was doing the work of an animal keeper in this amazing sanctuary, the biggest sanctuary and wildlife rescue center in Italy, which is in the middle of Maremma Toscana. And there I had the opportunity to work with this incredible and complex world of primates. So this was the first part of my internship. The other part was a collaboration with LOVE, which is an animal rights Italian association. It was my initial idea to go there. Actually, I'm into the topic of exotic animals pet trade from a while now. It was I think the second year that I decided that I wanted to specialize in this ethical issue. So I managed and I organized both my internship and my thesis project around this topic. Thanks to this internship in Semproniano, I worked with animals that are the victim of this trade. So for me it was important to understand the practical impact that this issue has on some lives.
I've done my internship at AP, Animal Advocacy Protection, in the Netherlands. In the end, I found that AP suited me because it's an institution that works through different pathways. So from the legal point of view is really involved also at European level, and also is a rescue center that gives a second chance to illegal pet and animals that are rescued from animal traffic. I want to be honest, I didn't have a lot of expectation. I mean, that I was there to work and to learn how to work properly and how to apply my knowledge, and I think I did it. I was surprised in a positive way because the structure is really well designed and people really work hard, and they are not facing like issues like lack of money or lack of food or lack of volunteers, because there's money, food and volunteers and everyone is working properly there. So it was kind of easy from this point of view. And I found that the perfect mixing is apply your theory but also gain the experience from other people. And yes, it can be a little bit frustrating because you go there and you're like, okay, but I've studied this. Why you're not doing like this? Because it's written in the book. So why you're not doing like this? But that's not the right approach. Also because you are not working alone and you are working for the animals. So you need to create a good environment. And luckily I found people that work with me. Some of them were open-minded, some of them, of course, they weren't. But if you explain your point of view in a diplomatic way, of course, you can share the knowledge and reach the best for the animal.
Any job with animals, you'll be in contact with humans because either there's a human boss or a colleague or a superior or an owner of the animal or a volunteer or anything. A donator, they will all have different opinions, and you might be the one who thinks to know what the animal needs, through these studies, and then you have to communicate this. Or tell them that you're seeing something wrong or you're not convinced, but you're not the boss. You're just at a stage and you want to get your message through. This can be very complicated and annoying and frustrating, but it can also be very satisfying because we do have the skills that maybe other jobs, other studies don't, about communication and the right communication together with the bioethics. If you combine the two, you know that this is another maybe stakeholder point of view which has needs and desires, etc. And you have to get through to them. And there are always ways. It's not always easy to get the right way. I did fight with my colleague and superior twice. I made her cry once. I cried also. Good communication can allow for incredible experiences where you gain also the right to the opinion of the other people, and you can create a dialogue. So by being kind and listening and being very curious, there is also always a solution, and the dialogue can start from there, and you can find out a lot of things that you thought you knew but you didn't know from another perspective. So it's not always easy, but it's also very fun because you can be the boss or the handler of the conversation if you do it right. And you can find out everything you need to find out.
I did my internship in the University of Genova in the Laboratory of Applied Ethics. At first, I wanted to go abroad, so I wanted to go to Buenos Aires in a research laboratory. It didn't work out, but in the end, it was the best decision that I could do because it really opened a lot of doors for me. So it was really the best choice. In the end, working in Genova with my traineeship and thesis, I managed to delve deep into the topic of dog adoption and shelter management, and it's something that really opened a door for me, and it's what I'm also still developing nowadays, and I'm really proud of doing it. Please, during the traineeship, be proactive, be innovative, try to bring your own into what you're doing, but at the same time, try to consider that you are arriving in an environment that is already built. So you can try to add something, but you always need to get some feedback from the other side. So if what they're asking from you is a very easy task, like a basic task like cleaning, and that's what they expect from you and don't give you any space to grow, it can still be useful and let you grow even in that way. So take what they can give you, but if you are given the chance, try to do some more.
I've done 2 different internships. The first one was to collect the data for the thesis, actually, and it was at Parco Faunistico Cappeler. And so I've been there for a couple of months doing both data collection and internship. And the main one, which was the one that then I put in the curriculum, is the one that I've done in the Netherlands at the SEAL Center Peter Buren. And you interact with the SEALs only 3 times per day, actually. But then the rest of the time, you are still during your working schedule, and you have to do any kind of activity for the center, which means just preparing the feedings for the other movements, but also just cleaning the corridors, taking care of the jumpers and the stuff that you are going to use in another moment. So it includes a lot of different tasks. Animal care gave me a very strong basis, I would say, because I arrived there already knowing a lot about how rescue centers should work, and so I had some precise idea of what to expect from the experience, how to handle the animals, what can be the possible cases, so the kind of illness and how to manage them. And you came out from the traineeship that you have a completely different point of view sometimes. Animal care also taught me a lot about how things should be in rescue center, but then you also realized that sometimes it's not possible, because a rescue center most of the time has to find money from the people, from the public. Sometimes you have to take care of the need of the animal, so respect the fact that you are dealing with wild animals, but at the same time get people engaged and make a contact between SEALs and visitors that sometimes can be tricky.
I think the craziest was not during the stage, but with Smilla. And that is the part that really made me say, yes, I want to do this as work, and yes, I want to work with humans also, not only with animals, for animals, but with humans, is communication again. And we were at a bar during her stage. I went to visit her at her stage in Semproniano, Tuscany, the sanctuary of love, the rescue center, sorry. And there was not much to do, and we went to a bar, and we found some hunters and some farmers and some very countryside men. It was raining and there was no space, so we ended up all together at a table, and they asked us, "What do you do? Why are you here?" Because there's no one here, it's a tiny village. "What are you doing?" We're from animal care, animal welfare and management, you know. And a big debate started. And again, with dialogue and listening to them and asking the right questions and not telling them what to think, but asking them what they think, with a little bit of alcohol also helps. The conversation and the influence we maybe had on them and what they could tell us, and seeing that there could be a dialogue, was the craziest moment and the most amazing moment ever, because it was two worlds clashing: the hunters, the farmers, and the animal lovers, all having a conversation together and exchanging points. There was no aggressivity except as joke and some insults, but all on a jokey tone. And I'm sure that we remained in their minds for a long time, because they don't see a lot of different stimulus around there. And if I could find a job later that puts me in contact again in such situations with such different stakeholders, I'm sure we could change the world. There is potential for change and communication and collaboration. It's just not that easy, and it's not done enough. So this will probably be our jobs, and it does not exist enough yet. But this was probably the craziest thing that happened, and the reason for which I know I chose the right studies.
Going abroad is, of course, a bit tricky, and it can really scare, especially if you have never lived alone. But it can also give you a lot of opportunity to test yourself and to meet a lot of new people from every place in the world. And bureaucracy is also something that is very tricky. And I had some troubles, and I had a moment of some months before leaving that I was a bit depressed, because it seems that nothing were going to work. But then in the end, everything was smooth, and the experience was amazing. So I would say that going abroad is an experience that everyone should do.
I think that the internship is just a chance to understand if what you're doing is right for you, and in this way you can just adjust your trajectory in your life. But it's not the final point. It's not that your traineeship is where you're gonna get hired. If it works out, good for you, but it's almost never gonna be the case. So even if they don't hire you straight away after the traineeship, don't worry, you are gonna get plenty of other alternatives if you really work on it.
We are on the same. We are in the same boat. After the graduation, even if you are an architect or a lawyer, you don't have your contract. So it's normal. In our scenario, can be a little bit more difficult, because we don't have a target, we don't have a label on our head, but can be also useful because we can reinvent and recreate our role and our future job, and we can easily adapt in different fields.
You will not just work together in strict contact with animals. Me and other girls from other years of animal care met. We were moved by the same passion and by the same need we felt to give information to other people. So we started this, we created this group together with another association, and we produced, let's say we are still producing a booklet, an informational booklet about the species in Italy that are in danger, and we want to share it together. We want to share it to schools, especially because there is the need to inform people by the early age. We need to change the perspective that children have about animals, about wildlife. So what we're doing right now is participating to those conventions. We can participate, share our project, share our passion, share our motivation, and spread the words that there is the need to save a lot of animals in Italy.
Emma, what are you doing now?
So now I'm working as a researcher in the Istituto Zooprofilattico, and my job is to handle a research project and to write research papers on assistant dogs for disabilities, in particular for assistant dogs for medical alert. At the same time, undertaking a master degree in Vienna, which is basically 2 years course extra, and I think what animal care gave me, it's pretty useful as a base to start that course. And it's really interesting how if you undertook a specific curriculum, in the end, independently from which it was, you still get the chance to focus more on your passion with other degrees after that.
Now I am conducting research for the Biscia department here in the University of Padova, and especially regarding projects about invasive alien species. Apart from this, I'm so happy because I have the opportunity to explore my field of interest as communication field and public engagement field.
I am a conservation officer assistant at BirdLife Malta. Basically my job it's a mix of catching poachers in the act of hunting protected species and bringing evidence to court to basically have these poachers have consequences, but also to reinforce the law on environmental protection. I can definitely say that I'm enjoying it. It can be a little bit tiresome sometimes, but at the end of the day I return home that I'm satisfied and I feel good about it.
Our dream is to create the most cutting-edge, innovative, ethical rescue center, exotic and native, that may educate and fascinate people, but first of all, which has the highest standard of animal care and welfare ever seen. The connection between humans and animals could be stronger, could educate even more, and through everything we learned in our courses, I'm sure with enough money we could do something magical.
Mamma mia. I want to do research and to really help animals, and in particular dogs, providing proper training that enhances their well-being, and at the same time helping humans through these assistant dogs for disabilities. So that's what I really, really want to do.
I wish for the new students in animal care to be motivated and passionate, even though it's not always easy and the solution is not always clear, but it's a challenge and it's the best kind of challenge and I don't know many degrees in which the professors are kind, available, passionated by their work, and ready to module also the studies to fit you guys more and more. This is not the case in many studies. You are just a number. You are nothing until you have a degree. And even after the degree, you are a number until you have enough experience. Here you are a human, a sentient being with great opportunities to help the animal world, and not only, and also the humans in contact with animals. So I really hope you have the passion that I have seen during our years of studies, and don't be scared for later, because the world is ready for this change. It has been asking for change and more ethics in decision making. So it does not exist yet, but we're making it happen, and I hope you feel big enough to participate.
Get out a little bit of your comfort zone and try to look for opportunities that can provide you and reach you in any way if you have the possibility, because that is what I found really precious for me.
Bye to all the new and future animal caretakers, and I wish you really all the best. There is a lot of work to do. Good luck.